Everton is just such a fantastic institution, and it's so important to this city, to Merseyside, to the fabric of the community that it's part of. There are a few clubs that are so vital to the areas in which they live and play, and its survival and its success is of importance to everybody. And at the end of the day, what is the local media for if it isn't to kind of try and do what it can to add its voice, add its concerns, whether obviously support when it deserves support. Absolutely. And Everton does support, deserve support on a lot of things.
Absolutely.
But you also can't be, pride yourself as being such a huge institution and then not expect scrutiny if things aren't going well, and if things that could have a significant impact on so many people's lives, have the potential to happen. And they had the warning last season, they got this as well. I speak to a lot of Everton fans, and obviously I'm there at the games and things like that, and I take my job seriously. Like, it's not a job that I've taken on to just sit in press boxes and watch football matches all my life. And I want to do my best to try and help everyone, give the fans a voice, give the club a voice when it needs, and the club will the club has the Echo as a platform to respond.
Absolutely.
And it always will. I'm not always going to get it right. I'm well aware that at the minute, I've had a lot of support for that piece, for which I'm very grateful for. I know there'll be times when I get it wrong. That's just life.
Human nature, mate.
That's just life. And there'll be times when things aren't, the path isn't always as clear, and you're trying to work, you make wrong turns as you go through it. But for me, when I was sitting there at the Brighton game and I was watching what was unfolding, and against the backdrop of everything that happened over the past, goes far beyond the 8 months that I've been working on here. But I did that front page 6 months ago or so, and it just felt like it was the right time to revisit it, because 6 months on, we're in this position again. And that concerns me, and I think it concerns everybody. And I'm very privileged to have a platform. And I believe that platform should really, it's more important that I use that to give other people a platform rather than for myself. I meant every word that I wrote in that piece, and I think it was fair. I do think it was fair. There'll be people who don't think it's fair. There'll be some people that think it was too harsh. There'll be some people that think it should have gone further. I thought it was fair as it had to be, to try and make the point. And, I just hope that I've played my part in helping to concentrate minds there, and just hopefully get some acknowledgement that, the situation is serious. Everyone can see that, but people genuinely care, and people want the best, and people want to help. And, and I think people want to be able to support the club. Yeah. I just hope the club can help, again, like it did at the back end of last season, albeit, it was the players and Frank which were the vehicle for it. We know how powerful the fan base can be, and, the club needs to harness it. And if the club is going to dip back into that well, if it's going to rely on the supporters again to help get it extra points, help get it over the line, to help make Goodison a bear pit, help make Goodison a cauldron, helps the players home and away, then I just think that those supporters who are making that decision as to whether or not to get the flares out again, whether or not to get the banners out again, I think that they deserve to be spoken to. They deserve to know that their concerns are being listened to and hopefully acted upon.
To watch the rest of this video, head over to Toffee TV Premier by scanning the QR code here, or click the link in the description.